You could hardly hear a sound as he'd put them in the ground. The spinach, spuds and radishes and the little earthy mounds. Then he drove down into Bridgnorth with his train badge on his chest. And he knew his name was Johnny because his mum had sewed a label on his vest. Now Johnny had a hankering for his neighbour, so it seems. She lived on and loaded right next door, and she liked his runner beans. Johnny thought she was too good for him as he watched her sunbathe nude, but he invited her for a weekend break at a B&B in Bude. They called him Johnny, and he had the best allotment of the street. He asked if he could massage her with the juice of his mango wurzel. She said no, but you can take me to the flicks. What's on down the Kurzel? He offered to show her his tomatoes that were ripening under glass and that they were organic, and she said, "Stop it, I think I'll pass." That annoyed old Johnny, because he had the best allotment in the street. Now Johnny had a rival, a rich and wealthy old banker, who also fancied the girl next door. Yes, he too did hanker. He tempted her with his wants of cash and his property portfolio, and when she said he had a waterbed, she thought he was a real Romeo. She nearly swooned one afternoon when he said, "Just forget that, Johnny. Shame be whoever thinks ill of it," which in Norman French is honey. "Swacky malipons," he whispered, in a flash old-fashioned mailway. All Johnny had to offer was a ride on the Severn Valley Railway, and they called him Johnny. And he had the best allotment in the street. One lunchtime he saw the banker's lawnmower parked outside her garden shed, and he thought, this is a similar saga to Ernie and 2-Ton Ted. And he leapt up from his spot with mud all over his clothing, and he went across to the Suffolk Punch and he kicked it full of loathing. And his name was Johnny, and he had the best allotment in the street. Now Johnny rushed out in the street, his trowel in his hand. He said, "If you want our next door neighbour, you better check out our council tax band." Johnny dragged him from his Bentley beneath the Bridgnorth sun. And the banker said, "She loves me, you're far more hedged than fund." But Johnny had something up his sleeve, and he went for his strawberry spinach, wrapped it round a bunch of carrots, and whoosh, the banker was finished. The apple of their eye got up and tried to keep them apart, but a heavy wedge of £50 notes caught him underneath his heart. He was also hit by a pile of cash, which the banker threw and cussed, and some stocks and shares caught him unawares. Johnny bit the dust. And he had the best allotment in the street. Johnny was only an allotment keeper, he didn't want to die. But now he pokes his dibble in the allotment in the sky, where sprouts are served at meal times, and they eat cabbage twice a day. And curly kale and spinach, it's good roughage, so they say. But a neighbour's needs are manifold, like the gasket in one's car. And on her and the banker's honeymoon night, they hadn't got too far. When? Was that a trowel a-digging, or a hoe that never stops? Or Johnny raking over an eternal top of the crops? But he won't forget Johnny. And he had the best allotment in the street.